Our nation owes a debt to its fallen heroes that we can never fully repay. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. With these words, welcome you all to ABS Creations by your educationalist Chandrakala. Salute the ones who died, the ones that give their lives, so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love. If you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down. An educational channel with moral values. If you have not subscribed the channel, subscribe the channel by pressing the bell icon to receive the notification. Thank you. In this video, we will deal with how we Indians begin to believe that all of us are part of the same nation through nationalism, that is, the sense of collective belonging. Nationalism started spreading when people begin to believe that they are all part of the same nation, when they discover some unity that binds them together. But how did the nation become a reality in their minds of people? How did people belonging to different communities, regions or language groups develop a sense of collective belonging? It is that true sense of collective belonging came partly through experience of united struggles. It is not only through the experience of united struggles, the spread of nationalism came partly with a variety of cultural processes which captured the minds of the people, such as history and fiction, folklore and songs, popular prints and symbols. So history and fiction, folklore and songs, popular prints and symbols, all of these played a very important role in the making of nationalism. Apart from these imagination of cultural process, the identity of nation is most often symbolized in the form of figure or image. So when it is often symbolized in figure or image, this helps to create an image with which people can identify their own nation. So it was in late 20th century, with the spread and growth of nationalism, the identity of India came to be visually associated with the image of Bharat Mata. The first image of Bharat Mata was created by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. The first image of Bharat Mata was created by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. So in the year 1870, he wrote a hymn to the motherland named as Vande Mataram. He included Vande Mataram in his book Anandmat. So Vande Mataram was widely sung during the Swadeshi movement in Bengal. Moved by the Swadeshi movement in Bengal, Abhindranath Tagore, he painted his first image of Bharat Mata. His painting of Bharat Mata portrays Bharat Mata as a calm, composed, divine and a spiritual image. So Bharat Mata, which has been portrayed by Abhindranath Tagore as an ascetic figure, is that calm, composed, divine and spiritual. After the image has been designed and painted by Abhindranath Tagore, different artists started painting the image of Bharat Mata portraying in a different manner, and they circulated in popular prints. So devotion to this mother figure came to be seen as evidence of one's nationalism. It is not only through the image of Bharat Mata the nation is identified. It is also through the movement to revive Indian folklore. So the idea of nationalism also started spreading or developing through a movement to revive the Indian folklore. In late 19th century, nationalists began recording folk tales sung by bards. Late 19th century, nationalists started recording the folk tales sung by bards. Who were called as bards? They were a tribal poet singer skilled in composing and reciting verses on heroes and their deeds. Bards were a tribal poet singer who were skilled in composing and reciting verses on heroes and their deeds. These group of people, they started touring the village to gather folk songs and legends. So whatever the tales or the songs which has been collected, it gave a true picture of traditional culture that had been corrupted and damaged by the outside forces. So it was very essential to preserve this folk tradition in order to discover our nation's identity and restore the sense of pride. Rabindranath Tagore, he himself began collecting ballads. Ballads is nothing but a kind of poem or song that tells a story. It may be about a famous person or otherwise about a country from history. So Rabindranath Tagore in Bengal, he started collecting ballads, nursery rhymes, and led the movement for folk myth. Apart from Rabindranath Tagore, Nateshan Sastri in Madras, he published a massive 4-volume collection. Of Tamil folk tales, came to be known as the Folklore of Southern India. So the Folklore of Southern India was written by Nateshan Sastri, and it is a massive collection of 4 volumes of Tamil folk tales. He believed that folklore was national literature. It was the most trustworthy manifestation of people's real thoughts and characteristics. So the idea of nationalism also started spreading through reviving the Indian folklore. The most important, the icons and symbols became more popular in the nationalist movement. So nationalist leaders began developing the icons and symbols as a part of national movement and to identify our nation. During a Swadeshi movement in Bengal, a tricolor flag which comprises of red, green and yellow was designed. So during the Swadeshi movement in Bengal in the year 1907, a tricolor flag, red, green and yellow was designed. So this flag has 8 lotuses representing 8 provinces of British India and a crescent moon representing Hindus and Muslims. By the year 1921, Gandhiji designed a Swaraj flag. It was also again a tricolor flag with red, green and white, and it had a spinning wheel in the center representing the idea of self-help. Gandhi's idea of self-help. Carrying the flag, holding it aloft during the marches, the flag of India, which was designed by Mahatma Gandhiji, it became a symbol of defiance. It became a symbol of defiance. This is how icons and symbols, they played a role in the spread of nationalism. Apart from that, another means of creating a feeling of nationalism was through reinterpretation of history. By the end of 19th century, many Indians began feeling a sense of pride in the nation. It has to be instilled in the minds of people that Indian history had to be taught in a different manner. But the Britishers saw Indians as backward and primitive, incapable of governing themselves. The Britishers saw Indians as backward and primitive, incapable of governing themselves. In response to that, Indians started looking into the past to discover India's great achievements. They wrote about the glorious developments in ancient times when art and architecture, science and mathematics, religion and culture, law and philosophy, crafts and trade had flourished. So when the Britishers saw Indians as backward and primitive, incapable of governing themselves, Indians started looking into the past to discover India's great achievements, and they wrote about the glorious developments in ancient times when art and architecture, science and mathematics, religion and culture, law and philosophy, crafts and trade had flourished. This glorious time, according to their view, was viewed as history of decline when India was colonized. When India was colonized under the Britishers. So these nationalist histories urged the readers to take pride in great achievements in the past and to struggle to change the miserable conditions of life under British rule. So this is what we used to say about the reinterpretation of history, which helps us to create a feeling of nationalism in the minds of Indians. A growing anger against the colonial government was thus bringing together various groups and classes of Indians into a common struggle for freedom in the first half of the 20th century. The Congress, under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, tried to channel people's grievances into organized movements for independence through truth and non-violence. Through such movements, the nationalists tried to forge a national unity. But as their grievances were wide-ranging, freedom from colonial rule also meant different things to different people. As the grievances were wide-ranging, freedom from colonial rule also meant different things to different people. So the Congress continuously attempted to resolve differences and ensure that The demands of one group did not alienate another. This is precisely why the unity within the movement often broke down. In other words, what was emerging was a nation with many voices wanting freedom from colonial rule. Jai Hind. Jai Hind. Go through the concepts and test yourself with the help of the questions given below. And if you like this video, you can share it, you can comment it. Thanks for watching. Thank you.